Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our F1 2013 career mode. Just 4 races remain. We have the Indian Grand Prix coming your way today, a track that I'm a little bit less confident on than some of the others. Apparently I'm in some contract rumors right now that I'm looking at moving teams. However, I think that's a lie. F1 2014 coming up, of course, once we finish this career mode. Not quite sure exactly if we're going to stick with Mercedes or go elsewhere yet. I wouldn't be against doing one more season with Mercedes and then maybe changing it up going into F1 2015. But here is the point situation. Sebastian Vettel had a mechanical failure in the last episode. We were able to pick up another win. 2 back-to-back Grand Prix victories has thrusted us back into the battle. Hamilton with the World Championship lead at 245 points over Vettel's 234, 230 for myself. Alonso still has a slim chance to get involved, but he is going to need a lot of help. But we still, of course, have to be on our absolute best performance at a track where we kind of struggle. So let's head into qualifying here in India. So this is my first time using my new wheel here in F1 2013, so wish me luck on that one, but we get underway. I'm expecting a rough weekend. I really am expecting things to just not go my way. From qualifying, to as well, really everything in between. I just don't have a whole lot of confidence on my wheel. I don't know how to bring up the balance of brakes and whatnot, so I'm trying to quickly figure that out as quick as I can here. I'm going to use a lot of this curve deployment right here, and of course deploy the DRS. I don't think I have a button map to bring up like the brake bias to the rear, so we're going to have to change that here going into the Grand Prix. But you can already see Lewis Hamilton out in front. This is a track I just don't have confidence at, and I think it's showing pretty well so far. I struggled here last game. We're struggling here again. I think this more is a survival kind of race, and realizing that, we're going to have to hope that there's going to be some issues for these guys like Hamilton. Oh, just like F1 2012 all over again, making that same mistake I made so many times last time around. Hopefully we can avoid that. Such a fun track to drive though, I gotta say. Although I'm not the most confident here, don't really feel like I'm very quick, I have so much fun actually driving this circuit. No doubt in my mind we're dead last here in India. Let's see, coming to the start finish, we actually are not last, we're 18th place. So not the end of the world, I guess, but yeah, definitely some work to do. And it's Hamilton on pole, Alonso doing everything he can to keep himself in the mix here, Vettel down in third. Let's head to the grid. We were way off the pace there, 2.4 seconds, a lot of work to be done. All right, here we go, ready to roll in India. What can we do here today? I found out I just got to use the analog stick on my wheel to actually do the menu. Here we go, ready to roll. Right behind Jean-Eric Verne, 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out. We are racing back in F1 2013 career mode. A bit of a poor start for myself, not good at all actually, but I know what we're going to be able to do in turn 1 is get the elbows out a little bit. Don't mind if I just send one up the inside. Not going to do anything stupid, as we saw somebody went wide there. Actually, a lot of problems in the back. 3 cars off the track. Don't mind if I just slip up the inside right here as well. Someone's knocking over the cones. Everybody's knocking over the cones. We got cars going off there. Goodness gracious, up in a P11. We'll take it. Right behind Max Gutierrez now, as we had, or Esteban Gutierrez. Sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong Gutierrez. Everybody, for the most part, nice and clean on this opening lap so far, but we have to get down into this braking zone where they are trying to go 3 wide into the corner. What's going to happen here? We're going to get through here pretty well. Side by side now with Jensen Button down the short straightaway. I'm going to use all of my curve deployment, trying to get myself ahead a little bit now as he's going to give us the position. This is where things get spicy. Someone's having issues up there. That's a Red Bull. I'm wide. We're fine. Was that Sebastian Vettel or was that Mark Webber? That's my question. Massa's gone wide. Contact right there with the Brazilian. I really hope I don't get a penalty for that, because sometimes the game's a little bit dank when it comes to their penalty system, but it looks like we get away with one on that. I was a bit concerned, but yeah, we're going to be okay. But now we can kind of settle in. Looks like there was more problems behind us. A yellow flag was in fact out. I see somebody really slow on the track map, so a bit of a hectic opening lap here. Like I said, it was kind of clean, but yeah, there was certainly some chaos involved, but nobody crashes. So we get through this first lap. I see it's Mark Webber up there in front of us, so he was Red Bull with issues. It appears Hamilton is down to third, Vettel to second, Alonso out in front. Webber is terrible right now. Thank you very much. P6 at the end of lap 1. It is such a long run down towards the next corner here. I love the straightaway, setting ourselves up well for this braking zone. But yeah, not a lot of confidence still as I'm trying to close in on the back of Raikkonen. I'm actually really impressed with how well this game works with my Moza wheel. You know, when it's a really old game, 2013, we're talking a decade in age. I am so bad through this section here. We're going to get this right before this race is over. But yeah, I struggled there so hard in F1 2012, and we're struggling here again. Just not a track I'm able to quite navigate my way around in the quickest form. It's almost like Las Vegas in F1 23 for me, but I'm definitely more confident here than I am at Vegas in 23. I'm going to make a move right here on Raikkonen. We have the opportunity. The door is open. Up the inside we go. Get this thing to rotate. Really understeering right there. That's going to allow Raikkonen to be right on the back. I mean, he's probably... Actually, I don't know who got the DRS on that one. I'm going to use a bunch of that curve deployment, and there's your answer. We get the DRS, but Raikkonen still, with that slipstream, enough to put some pressure on. He's going to look up the inside. I don't know if he's going to actually go for this move or not. He's still there, barely. No, we are going to get the position. Okay, so up into 5th place. Now we can focus in on his teammate of Roman Grosjean now. As I can see, Hamilton back up to 2nd place. He has made the overtake on Sebastian Vettel here on just the 3rd lap of this Grand Prix. You know what? That was a little bit better. We're making little strides here every lap. We should be able to get Grosjean right here down the straightaway. Use a bunch of that curve deployment. Open that rear wing now. No pressure from behind from Raikkonen, who continues to fade into the background. We're going to look up the inside of Grosjean into the braking zone. Pretty cautious into this braking zone. Really don't need to push too hard right now, but at the same time, there I go off track right in front of the Frenchman. Not how I wanted to do that, but we still nonetheless get 4th place. The question is, can we run down the cars in front of us? Let's actually get through here. Oh, you know what? Only dipped the wheel off that time. We get continuously better. Let's see if we can make it right on the next lap. Oh, not ideal. Bit of a lockup right there into turn 1. Just quite simply missed my braking zone. That's going to leave me vulnerable here to the cars behind. So bit of a mistake's going to put us at risk. And there's another one right there. Goodness gracious. Okay, all right. We got to settle back in and focus. I'm going to use all of my curve deployment on this straightaway, just trying to minimize the damage now. Grosjean might look up the inside, and I'll give it to him because he's just not going to be able to put much of a fight up. Actually, it's going to be pretty even into the braking zone. He's going to fight. He's here to fight. As I'll go around the outside, we'll hang on to the position there. And there we go. Staying in 4th. Vettel is up the road. Vettel is struggling on pace, and we have a lot of momentum lately, of course, off of back-to-back victories here in this F1 2013 career mode. And look at that. We finally did it. Oh, my goodness. Have you ever? Here we are. Finding moment, and then here we go. I go and scoop the next corner. Our pit window opens next lap up, starting to get some wear here on these rear tires specifically. Now over 4.5 seconds right now to Vettel, so we're not really closing very much. So we definitely got to get onto it. My goodness, I keep screwing up right there now. But yeah, we definitely got to find some pace here in these next laps or so, as we don't want to have to make up too much of a gap to Vettel once we get out of the pit lane. But we'll kind of see. There it is, 4.3 seconds. So I mean, we gained 2/10, which is, you know, can't complain. We are still gaining at the end of the day, but definitely want to be gaining more than that. We'll be coming into the pit lane, though, at the end of this next lap. We've cut the gap to 3.5 seconds to Vettel as we approach the pit lane. Those tires are worn. Not too bad, though. Vettel's coming in. So we, of course, will come in ourselves now and follow the Red Bull driver. Slipping and sliding here on the pit entry, but we get in. Hamilton's the only one of the front runners to stay on track here as he's out in front right now. And Alonso, if Alonso can hang on to the victory, never say never. If he goes on a late season tear, I mean, who knows what he's going to be capable of. But Vettel out, Alonso already gone out of the pit lane and away. So you can see that right now, gap between myself and Vettel visually feels like it might be even a little bit closer. Hard to tell, but thankfully we come out no traffic. We can really focus in on going after Vettel, but obviously Vettel's not the one I'm concerned on right now. It's Hamilton. Oh my goodness, way wide right there. I just couldn't get the car to turn. There's some damage done, that's for sure, to open up the gap. And there's Hamilton. Hamilton's coming out right with Sebastian Vettel. That's going to be interesting. Vettel's off track. Hamilton and Vettel come together. Oh, no way. The championship choke from Vettel. We have seen it recently. Vettel in the last lap of the South Korean Grand Prix has the accident, of course. Last episode has the mechanical failure. Obviously, nothing he can do about that. But now him and Hamilton come together in turn 1, and that allows me to get through on the Red Bull. And now we can set our sights on Hamilton, who we are quite close to now. Looking like that extra lap of tire wear has made a really big difference here. I mean, at some tracks it's very hit or miss, of course, depending on what the tire wear is. But obviously here it's opened the door wide open for us to really close in on Lewis until I go do that now. And here I am choking myself. We're just going to go through there and they're not even going to call me for it. But Hamilton, Vettel coming together. Goodness gracious, this has been a rough lap now from myself after being able to complete the pass on the Red Bull. I don't think Vettel's done. He is absolutely flying right now. He has run me down in the last half of the lap, but I really haven't made any errors. So this Red Bull, you know, there might be more coming here between Seb and Hamilton. I'm slipping and sliding around just a little bit right there, struggling with 6 laps to go. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold off Vettel here. I'm going to use all that current deployment and see what we can do. But here he comes. Look at the closing rate between myself and that Red Bull. Is he going to have a look up the inside? Here he goes. Is he actually going to be able to do anything? He's going to take it. Have at it, Seb. My goodness, he is just outpacing me in this exact moment, which is a bit surprising. But you know what? We're still right here on him. Let's maybe follow him, give him a few laps, and see what he can do. He is flying. I mean, look at this guy go. He is on a mission right now. I think he's after a very specific thing right now, and that is Lewis Hamilton to go get back at him. But he runs a little bit wide right there, allows me to close in on the back of him. But you know what? That Red Bull is absolutely flying right now as we do kind of maintain with him here and actually close in a little bit again as we approach just 5 laps to go in the Indian Grand Prix. Alonso, I mean, I completely forgot about him. He is long gone down the road. Unless something goes catastrophically wrong for him, he is in great shape. Now, he would love for Vettel, of course, to be able to beat Hamilton, as Hamilton is that title leader. You hear that right there? Vettel running full revs now. How much extra fuel do we have? 2 laps, so we're going to wait a little bit longer. Then, of course, we will switch over to that rich fuel mix and see if we can get, you know, to Seb. If he can't get to Hamilton, I want him to get to Lewis because it's just going to make it more of an opportunity for me to pass both of them. I don't want to fight them right now, but if he can't get there, you know, within the last 2 laps, we're going to have to be, you know, forced to kind of go for a move. I mean, even with the curves in the DRS, Vettel is just able to open up such a large gap here and just stay comfortably ahead. Working on it. I am working on it. That's not how I'm going to pass him right there, running wide on the apex now. Hamilton, we have to be closing in. I mean, it looks like we are, but it's just not enough, I don't think, now as we exit the final turn. 3 laps to go, 2 laps of fuel extra. So once we get back to the start-finish line, into Rich we go and see what we can do against the Red Bull. Oh, no. Oh, that's going to throw it away. That's going to throw it away. I just completely missed my braking spot right there. Just too much focus on the Red Bull. And that's going to probably ruin every chance we just had to go and get a podium here today. And then another mistake right there. Yikes. Oh, my God. Oh, we are choking. Oh, no. Oh, dear God. Okay, let's get it rolling here. It's damage limitation at this point now. There goes Raikkonen. I don't know what happened there. We have just thrown in the last couple laps. The choke's worse than Vettel's all of a sudden here. And I knew this was going to be a rough Grand Prix, but we were doing good. And that's the first, like, spin I've had in... I don't even know when the last time I've actually spun the car around in this game. It's once you kind of get used to the way the game drives, it's pretty easy to drive. So it's not often you actually go and spin the car out. But goodness gracious, now it's really just trying to get 4th back from Raikkonen, who's been able to overtake his teammate of Grosjean. I don't think this is going to be a very challenging overtake. We just gotta, you know, not be stupid here. All right, field is on Ridge, but I think it's the same story for Raikkonen because we are not gaining as much. Does he leave the door open? I'm going to kind of show my nose. You know what? He actually does not allow me to do it. You know, and a lot of times previously they would just move over right there in that scenario and say, you know what? Go have the position. Not going to be the case here, but he is all over the road now. What's he going to do? Still stays in place, and we will have to just try and set him up for the right opportunity as we approach this final lap. Should be a pretty easy overtake right here on this final lap against Raikkonen. Use all the curve deploy we have. Yeah, he's going to be a sitting duck. You can tell he's in Rich for sure. but nonetheless, up the inside we go, in towards the corner, and play it defensively. A bit of a lockup on the right front, but Raikkonen not quite able to get the switch back on us, so we'll take it up to fourth. Vettel third. He's not going to be able to run down Hamilton, and an absolute dominant performance from the Spaniard of Fernando Alonso, who continues to do what he needs to do to keep his championship hopes alive here now, as of course he found himself quite a ways out coming into it, not mathematically out, and that's what's really important right now for the Ferrari, and we'll see what Fernando is going to be capable of doing in these closing races. Now, is this going to be three episodes remaining following this episode. Now, Alonso officially takes the victory. It'll be Hamilton in second, and he will extend the championship gap over myself, as well as Sebastian Vettel. We will come through this final turn for a bit of a disappointing P4, but at the same time, we knew we were going to struggle. I don't have a lot of confidence here, so I'll take it. P4. We could have gotten third if we didn't have that spin against Vettel, but it is what it is. I'm pretty happy overall with this finishing result. All right, then, here's the finishing order. So, Alonso, Hamilton, Vettel, myself, Raikkonen, your top 5. Rounding out the top 10, Felipe Massa, Jean-Eric Vergne just misses out on points. I say just misses. He missed it by 13 seconds to Massa, who had no pressure. And then we had Charles Pic and Jules Bianchi at the bottom of the grid. Let's take a look at the standings. There you have it. So Hamilton, 14 points ahead of Sebastian Vettel, 21 ahead of myself, so still within range. Alonso, 33 points back. If he can put up another weekend like this in the next episode going into, I believe it's Abu Dhabi, I mean, never say never. It might not be over for Fernando Alonso, but I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day.